Let my kids loot my brother's house to prove a point. My brother Danny has always been the type who thinks his kids deserve everything while mine get nothing. Every time we visit for family dinners, he lets his 7-year-old Jake and 5-year-old Sophie just take whatever they want from my kids' stuff. Last month, my son Nathan brought his new remote control car to show his cousins. Within 10 minutes, Jake had claimed it was too cool for a 6-year-old, and Danny said Nathan should let him borrow it. That car never came back home with us. 2 weeks ago, my daughter Mia brought her favorite stuffed unicorn. Sophie started crying that she wanted it, so Danny told Mia she needed to share with family. When we left, the unicorn stayed behind because Sophie threw a tantrum. Every single time we visit, the same thing happens. Danny's kids see something they want, they whine, and suddenly, my kids are being lectured about sharing and being generous to their cousins. But it only goes one way. When Nathan asked to play with Jake's video games, Danny said they were too expensive for little kids to touch. When Mia wanted to see Sophie's new Barbie collection, Danny said Sophie didn't have to share her special toys. The breaking point came at Danny's birthday party last weekend. My kids brought their tablets to keep busy during the adult conversation. Within minutes, both Jake and Sophie were playing on them. When I said it was time to go, Jake refused to give Nathan's tablet back. Danny actually told me that Jake was in the middle of an important game and asked if Nathan could just leave it overnight. I said absolutely not, but Danny kept pushing. He said Nathan could play with other toys and that sharing taught kids valuable lessons. I grabbed the tablet from Jake, and Danny got mad at me for being harsh with his kid. He said I was setting a bad example about generosity and that maybe Nathan was too young for such an expensive device. Anyway, that's when I decided enough was enough. I told Danny we'd come by Wednesday when he was at work to grab something Mia had forgotten. His wife Lisa said that was fine and gave me the spare key. Wednesday afternoon, I picked up Nathan and Mia from school and drove to Danny's house. I unlocked the door and told my kids they could take back anything that had been theirs, plus anything else they wanted from Jake and Sophie's rooms. Nathan went straight for his remote control car, which was sitting on Jake's dresser like it had always belonged there. Mia found her unicorn on Sophie's bed covered in marker stains and missing an eye. But then I told them to keep looking. Nathan found this amazing Lego spaceship in Jake's room and asked if he could take it. I said, absolutely. Mia discovered Sophie's art supplies and loaded them into her backpack. They took board games, action figures, a whole collection of Pokemon cards, and even this expensive electronic learning tablet that Danny had bought Jake for Christmas. My kids were so excited, like they were on some treasure hunt. Nathan asked if this was okay, and I told him that Uncle Danny believed in sharing everything, so I was sure he wouldn't mind. We loaded up 2 whole bags of toys and headed home. Around dinner time, Danny called, screaming. Lisa had come home to find half the kids' toys missing, and Danny immediately knew it was me. He was yelling about theft and how I'd traumatized his children. I let him rant for a few minutes, then calmly said, Danny, I thought you believed kids should share with family. Isn't that what you tell Nathan and Mia every time we visit? He said that was completely different because those were his kids' toys in their own house. I said, exactly. And Nathan's car and Mia's unicorn were their toys too, but that didn't stop you from keeping them. Danny tried to argue that borrowing was different from stealing, so I reminded him about all the things that never got returned. The art set Mia brought for Easter, the superhero costume Nathan wore to the family barbecue, the handheld video game that Jake claimed he lost. I told Danny my kids would return everything they took as soon as he returned everything he'd kept. Plus, I wanted him to explain to Jake and Sophie how sharing works both ways. Danny showed up at my house 2 hours later with a garbage bag full of my kids' stuff going back months. He was furious, but handed everything over without a word. The next family dinner was interesting. When Jake reached for Nathan's toy truck, Danny actually stopped him and said, "That's not yours, buddy. Ask Nathan if you can play with it first."